Welcome back to blackstardove. Welcome back to my channel. As always, I need to see that HBO special, which simply means help a brother out. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Let's talk about the former president, who I honestly think would be the next president, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Unless you've been hiding under a rock, you're well aware of the recent news of him recently being convicted. Possibly could go to prison, but I don't think he's going to go to prison. I think it's going to be a probation thing. And still running for president, and since then has had $200 million in donations. Like, you can't make this shit up. like, sometimes I really wish the Boondocks was back. like, this would be the perfect one. Like, this would be the perfect episode for the Boondocks. Like, if you've ever seen the Boondocks. Man. But I truly, like, the people are really rallying behind him. I think the only reason why he lost 2020 is because he was his own worst enemy. Like, Donald Trump is full of himself. I think we could all admit that. He's pompous, he's arrogant, he's a douchebag, he's a little bit of a bitch. But he has some fantastic policies. He did have the country running smoothly. You know, things were looking up into COVID. And then, oh, can I even say COVID? No, whatever. I'm not that big of a YouTuber. But things were looking up until COVID. And then we know what happened from there. I never took the COVID vaccine. Mostly because I didn't have to for work purposes. But I know a lot of people who did, and they regretted it. And then that's a whole other thing. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how no matter what, it really feels like an organic movement. I haven't felt something like this as far as a politician since Obama first ran for office. Remember when he first ran for office? It was Yes We Can, and it was like a ground swelling of people, mostly because like, it was a black man running for president, but everyone was with him. Like, for the most part, Republicans, Democrats, Green Party, they wanted to see this man win for the most part. That's what it feels like again, but for Donald Trump. It's like this ground swelling of no matter what obstacle you put in front of this man, he's overcoming it, and he's becoming more popular. And on top of that, people just don't like the job that Joe Biden has done thus far. Me personally, I've always thought that all presidents are puppets, but no, that has not been more like in your face since like Joe Biden is the perfect person. When I sit there and I would say all presidents are puppets, Joe Biden is the perfect example of that. Like, you cannot tell me that presidents are not puppets. Like, you can't tell me that. I got living proof. Like, this man is living proof. Like, a president is supposed to be funny, witty, about his shit, and he threatens a few countries. You know, that's what presidents do. Man, Joe Biden has just been like, I don't know. It's like watching a toddler sometimes. Cause I'm like, man, cause I have a 7-year-old, and like I compare my 7-year-old to Joe Biden. I'm like, they act the same. And I was like, you can't tell me, they can't tell me about no puppets, Illuminati, all that other bullshit. Like, you can't say nothing about Joe Biden, man. Or maybe it's Kamala Harris. Maybe she's the one running things. Like, it was always said that the vice president really does run the country. But in that case, then that takes it back to when Joe Biden was vice president. But at that time, he was more lively. He wasn't like a walking corpse like he is now. That's besides the point. Trump, it's really starting to feel like it's this ground swelling. And it's different than 2016. In 2016, he was the come from behind kid who no one expected, because everyone just thought that this is for shits and giggles. He's not being serious. He's not going to really run. This is different. This is like, holy shit, like, I can see. Remember when he had the rally in New York only because he couldn't leave New York? And for New York, they showed up and showed out for him. What the fuck is wrong with my focusing? I gotta like figure out why my camera keeps not focusing. Sorry about that. But like, just watching his support and watching him online and watching black people come around to possibly, really thinking about voting for this man. Like, it feels way different. And I'm seeing other people get their respect. You see me do videos on Candace Owens. I just forgot her name. Candace Owens and her beef with the Daily Wire now. And I guess like they put a gag order on her, so she can't really say nothing. But like, we see a ground swelling for people who are in the black community that are mostly identified as Republicans. We see a ground swelling of support for them. And for the most part, I think people realize they were a lot better under Donald Trump. Now, there are some things that obviously people don't agree with. Myself, the only thing that, like, I'm like, man, just let a woman be her body, her choice. If she wants to have the baby, have the baby. If she wants to get rid of the baby, get rid of the baby. Like, just let it be her choice. That's the only thing I'm on. Other stuff, don't really care. But I can see it. Like, and it feels organic because I'm watching it and I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention a whole lot sooner than I usually do when it comes to, like, because we knew Donald Trump was gonna win. He's gonna represent the Republicans. We knew that from the very moment. Everything else was just a shit show. He didn't even show up for the debates because we all knew what the result was. Like, it was a giant shit show. But now the shit show is over. Like, I'm paying attention to what's happening, and I can't wait for he is officially the nominee at the Republican National Convention. Cause he even said, because at first I didn't think he was gonna debate Joe Biden, but he has agreed to debate Joe Biden, and I want to see that shit. Like, because I remember how Trump became so popular. Cause remember he first ran for president, he was debating Hillary, and Hillary was like, "This man doesn't pay his taxes," and he broke down the reason why he doesn't pay his taxes, and he said something, and he was like, "If you want me to pay my taxes, change the tax code, but you won't, because your backers and your donors do the same thing that I do." And when he said that, and you seen the look on her face, I was like, this motherfucker lost. I was like, oh shit, like they not gonna forget that shit. And of course, like, that was his real ground swelling. When he was like, okay, if you want me to stop doing this, change it. But you won't, because your people do it. And it's something that we all knew, but it was refreshing to see that we're not stupid, and someone admitted. But I personally, I'm looking forward to his speeches, because, like, man, because they say something, man. After listening to Joe Biden, we had a really good run of, like, presidents that knew how to speak. Like, think about it. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump can all speak and all speak well. Joe Biden is like fucking listening and watching paint dry. Like, oh my God, it is so embarrassing. Like, I feel embarrassed and I'm not even there. But you can look at the people that's there and they feel embarrassed. I'm like, man, like, if you want to be a president, at least be entertaining. Like, that's all I ask. Like, you can like pull the sheet over our eyes, like, ooh, don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Just keep us entertained. And at least I know Donald Trump would do that. But take care. I love you. Peace.